Hello my darlings, welcome back to Learning Algorithms. How's the progress of your cover letter writing? As promised last time, I will show to you in this video a sample of a cover letter that I supposedly had written for a particular journal. Last time it was about the content of a cover letter and what are included in it. Now I will discuss step by step the sample statements and how you write it. I would like to highlight though that all information I wrote here were fictitious. I did not create a research study under women empowerment, and I mean everything that I wrote here is not real. The only thing real here is probably 5% that I wrote this sample cover letter, and that this is helpful for researchers like you, my love. So, if you notice in my letter, the first line was the publication journal I intended to write to. Suppose that the study was already done. In that case, you need to identify your journal at the earliest stages of your publication journey, since you need to have the same wavelength with the journal based on your research interest. Again, the research journal in this letter is also fictitious, and if ever there exists one in that name, it was purely by chance. Now let's move on to the next information. The core content of your cover letter includes the title of your manuscript, and for this study, this was my title, obviously. Then the statement of the problem or the purpose of my study and what I have hoped to have achieved in my study. Suppose this was real. This was followed by my methodology or the approach I had taken to answer the objectives of my study. You know, darlings, even if this study isn't real, because I'm an education degree holder and not really a developmental studies degree holder, and not even an expert, still I am a feminist. Women should be treated equal with men, and both should respect each other. You don't need a degree for that, do we? Now, if you notice, I included a gap here in my letter to make the letter sound that this study was really needed, just to make the letter catchy to the editor. So, if you notice in my methodology, I used critical discourse analysis and what I have used during interviews. There, you have to include that one. There you go. Next, I've written here. Okay, so this was previously the methodology, just like what you've seen here, and I have written here the contributions of the paper to readership, just as discussed in readership. Just as I discussed in the first video on writing cover letters. Of course, though not explicitly mentioned in the first video, but needless to say, you need to have a glimpse of the results of your paper to contribute to the international community, because all journals want the research papers they publish to contribute to the international community. There you go. So, state that this is an original submission, that there are no conflicts among co-authors. I included last time to nominate editors over reviewers, but it was just an option, so I decided to leave that problem to the editor of the journal, so I didn't write nominations here. Of course, don't forget the names and affiliations of the authors, and in this case it was fictitiously me as the sole author. But in reality though, this is a heavy study. I cannot do it by myself. It also needs money from funding institutions. And just to point out, even though this is a fictitious cover letter and it was fictitiously created by me, but I do point out that I'm a human and not a robot, okay? Lastly, you may also include a similar publication that you had with your current study publication rather. In this case, this was a fictitious study, and obviously because it will be held it will be published on 2029 and has not been created nor was it published. Is this a time machine or Back to the Future kind of thing? Avengers Assemble. Okay, so this is the finished, not real cover letter that I had written. By the way, this fictitious cover letter can turn into reality without the reality stone of the Avengers if you study this manuscript title and the publication title beside my name. So you've got 2 free titles to study for your future research endeavors. You learned how to write a cover letter and got 2 titles. The first one would be this title, and this would be the second one, all for free. So it's like hitting 3 birds in 1 stone. You've got 2 titles and then you learn about writing cover letters. I hope that you enjoy writing it. So congratulations.